It's a beautiful thing.
We in 6 countries. That's
Yes.
what I mean. So that's the thing that stands out to me.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. We love y'all.
Yes. Thank y'all for listening.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm Coach Deb, representing one half of the Healing Corner podcast. If you're interested in booking a consultation as well as service or a reading, go ahead and check me out at debshealingcornerstone.com.
I'm Coach Yams, owner of Healing is Work Coaching, and I help millennial professional women to live on purpose unapologetically and to help them to stop doing shit out of obligation. If you need help with that, reach out to me, Coach Yams, YAMZ.com. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Healing Corner podcast. Thank you for joining us for another episode. I am Coach Yams. I have my co-host, Coach Deb here, and we have a guest joining us today, Coran Brown. Coran is a mental health advocate who graduated from Tennessee State University and is currently studying to be a therapist. She is also an herbalist. Some call her the tea lady because of her amazing custom tea blend she sells and her TikTok series, Tea Time. Thank you for joining us, Coran. We want to know how you got started, how you got here to where you are today. Tell us about you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here today. A little bit of about how I got here today. I originally back in 2020, I would say, or 2021, right after COVID happened, I really wanted to get into gardening. You know, COVID was just a really inclusive time. It was a time where everybody was just isolated, a lot of feelings. I was about 19, 20 around that time, still in my undergrad, so I was a little bit down, depressed. So it was exams on exams, and I wasn't around anybody. So once I got back to Nashville, I came home from Indiana. Once I got back to Nashville, I really was just looking for a community. I really wanted to get outdoors. The indoors showed me I needed to be outdoors, and I wanted to get back to my roots. So I started looking at some community gardens. I got into herbalism. Once I got into gardening, I really just, my mood changed 360. I started dropping weight. I was just smiling all the time. I really was just invested in life, honestly. I kind of really was done in that mindset of just being in college and just school. And I really just wanted to discover the world, see the world, and just really see Nashville outside of just college life in general, because I just realized there was more than just TSU, but there was gardening, there's just this whole world, and I was just discovered and invested in it. And I got into herbalism and found out how I could just heal my body with just plants outside. And even just me walking outside of my apartment right now, I could probably pick up a plant and heal my body. I just thought that was really cool. Even just making a blend, throwing some ashwagandha, chamomile, passion flower in a tea vase, and I can uplift my mood or just concentrate more in the day. So I just thought that was really awesome, and I honestly just wanted to share more with other people. So I started that Tea Time series where I could really just say it's tea time and maybe throw a little tea in there and just be able to inspire other people and just show people that they can heal their body without even having to maybe dibble dabble on other things to help them heal their body. So yeah.
I just want to say I love to me, it gives medicine woman like shamanistic energy, because how you said you just go outside and you know what I'm saying, you can feel the healing from the earth, and that's a beautiful thing. So okay, so the question I wanted to ask about how often do you broadcast, or how often do you post, and then kind of like how does it look like if people are interested in getting in contact with you? Like, what do you offer? What are you available for?
So right now, I'll probably post my Tea Time series about twice, maybe once a week. I just, it really depends on what I'm going through. Like sometimes if I'm on my period, I'll make maybe a period blend, show people some herbs they can probably use to get, to help with their menstrual cycle, maybe back pain. If I'm feeling really anxious and I'm throwing a blend together, I'll record that and post it. And I drink tea pretty often, so it's maybe about 2 to 3 times a week I'm posting, or I strive to post. I will say I strive to post because social media, But I'm trying to, get out to the people, or even just different anxiety blends. So I definitely post those a lot. The best way to get in contact with me would definitely be either TikTok or Instagram. My TikTok and Instagram is Coran, CORANXB. Right now, I am currently working on just an official business to sell all of my tea blends, but I do custom blends. So if, for example, I did make an anti-diabetic blend for someone a couple months ago just because she has diabetes and she's been working on getting her blood pressure down and her cholesterol levels. So I was able to just make a custom blend for them. So if people are just experiencing anything and want to consult with me, they can always DM me and talk to me maybe about some symptoms they're having, or just maybe just a blend that they really want to try or get into or have any questions. I'm always open for any questions.
I have another question. So, do you prepare yoni steams like the herbs?
I don't, but I'm always doing my research on more. Because right now I'm really into like syrups, like elderberry syrups or just different syrups and just teas at the moment. But I do like looking up different blends and kind of seeing what the yoni steams. Yoni steams are always so cool to me. I do put sometimes herbs in my humidifier, and it's kind of the same thing. So yeah, that's giving me something maybe to think about. Doing more.
I know that's one of the, medicine women, remedies that people use for fibroids. Like a lot of women have fibroids or these cysts and stuff that grow, and those can really heal with that. And that can also help. If you think about it, that part is where you create at. So if it's this messed up, it's hurting, you can't create from there. You can't create a baby, you can't create anything. So that's like a really important space for, especially when it comes to our culture.
Yes, and that's why I'm really big into just creating different blends that help with just menstrual cycles and just the reproductive system in general, because it is something really important to me as a woman and I feel like it's something that should be really important to other women and especially Black women because it isn't something that we have a lot of knowledge about. So I definitely agree, and specifically yoni steams, I think it helps with ingrown hairs, really just flowing, like just things flowing down there, nothing is just in and out cycles. You can kind of get negative things out, get some positive things flowing in there. Like I definitely agree with you on the steams. I get a couple because I wax often. So when I do wax, I get steams, and honestly, they're beautiful. So I actually thank you for the idea because I will get into some of these steams.
So, a question I have is what would you say is one of your favorite blends and what's the benefit of the blend?
My favorite blend is actually a blend I'm drinking right now. It's a mugwort with some peppermint, lemon balm, and some rose. I love this balm blend. It's really, honestly, the mugwort is my favorite component of it. Mugwort is my favorite herb. I feel like it really helps with just being grounded in self. It really helps with concentrating. People call it like the brain herb. Honestly, it's everything with the brain. So it really has a lot of just brain and just keeping you focused is one of my blends that I always do, just keeping me focused and grounded and calm. And then especially with that peppermint is my second favorite herb. It definitely helps with just keeping you calm as well and just brightens your mood. And lemon balm is another one of those soothing herbs. I'm really into just soothing herbs in general. And rose, it's a woman herb to me. I feel like it helps me feel more feminine. So I definitely love those herbs as well. And those combined, I think, just helps with this moment right now. I really just wanted to be grounded and within like self and my authentic self, and I think that it would just help me focus on what it is that I truly want to say here and just like really show y'all authenticity. And I think those herbs will definitely help with those, and just again being calm if you want to think about medicinal properties within those. A lot of calm and just like even anxiety reducing properties are in those herbs as well.
Awesome. And then I know that you have a series that you do on TikTok talking, it's called Getting to Grown Diaries. I want to know what inspired that, and what it's about. Let the people know what that's about.
Getting to Grown Diaries is my favorite little hobby project that I have been working on so far. And honestly, it's just my journey in getting to grown. Because I'm 22 right now, and I definitely, people say when you're 18, you're grown, you got it all figured out, you need to do, absolutely not. And I know people, I'm a case manager, and I've had clients from 16, 25, and who are older than me. I have people in my family and just experience so many people who are older than me who mindset wise we're not grown. So I really learned that like what it takes to be grown is honestly experiencing things and just learning and applying those to your life and really taking that path forward and that step forward and not sitting in those bad habits. Like, so getting to Grown Diaries is me kind of sharing my way of, because I know I'm far from perfect, I'm definitely not grown, but I'm working to be there. And I want to just share what I'm learning, maybe share some mistakes that I'm having, and just show people that I'm 22, and just show people that even at 22, like we're not perfect, but we can get there. We shouldn't sit in it. So hopefully I can kind of be an image bearer to show people through my series, and it helps me even with my own personal things, with just being vulnerable and just sharing what I'm going through. So I feel like it's a way to push me, but also a way to push other people to kind of really focus on themselves in ways, just mentally, not even just money wise or career wise, because you know those things come and go, but really just mentally how to work on yourself, even spiritually as well, and just use those things to apply to your life and just move forward. So, yeah.
And then my follow-up question would be, what is a challenge that you have gone through that has shaped you for where you're at right now, and like what did you learn and then apply?
Some challenges that I've gone through in life. I feel like I grew up really early as a kid. I've experienced just my city as well, just not really being in a good city. And even my household, sometimes there was just a lot of violence in my household, where I feel like I had to just grow up a little bit earlier and kind of just see real life a little bit earlier. And I'm also the oldest of 10. So I'm like a mom. Honestly, I got 10 kids. So I feel like really having to witness life for what it is and having to deal with that and move forward, like realizing as a kid I can't sit in it, like think people aren't always good, things aren't always going to be good, and I am always going to be, there's going to be times when you're going to be sad, but if you sit in that, there's nothing that's going to be there. I always say me moving for sure out of my hometown and just in a new town and just being able to start over in a way, even though things at home are always great, I feel like I was in a new space where I can kind of identify myself, and I definitely realized that I don't always have to be sad. Like I can literally recreate a whole new life for me. And I could have did that there, but it definitely gave me an opportunity as a kid, even a little bit earlier, to even, I thought that life, I realized that life came with just sorrow and sadness. But I also realized that with that, you can use that to just apply that learning to your life and just start over. So I that's really where that started. And those are some examples, I guess, of things that I've been through. And I'm really blessed for it, though. I'm 22, and it's helped me get there early. Because, again, like me being a case manager, I'm meeting people who are similar ages as me and going through things that I was going through as a kid, or things that, because I was able to learn those things earlier on in life, I was able to learn how to like avoid those things, and kind of just help them how to see it. Like, okay, I know, you're here, but maybe we can try this, this, and this. And, it can help us get there a little bit earlier, because people always get there. I definitely believe that people will always get there. But sometimes, like, it takes people until they're 40, 50, to get there. And I'm learning that, like, honestly, you just really have to push yourself in ways that you think is impossible. But I'm learning there's no such thing as impossible, and to just like apply that to your life, and it can help, get to grown, I guess you can say. So, yeah.
I was gonna say the word impossible says I'm possible. So that's very true. I love that. And then I wanted to go back to when you said that you feel like you were like a second mother. I can kind of relate to that a little bit, but then I wanted to say that could be why you're so nurturing when it comes to like the plants and knowing about the herbs, because you're very in tune with the feminine energy. So that's another reason why I guess that I kind of was thinking about the yoni steam and stuff like that, because you might find out that that's like something that is your calling, to be able to do that for people. Because I know there's people that find that out and they make, what I'm saying, the world change and people is getting healed here and healed here. So I was gonna ask you about, what was it? So for the plants and the stuff like that, do you actually get them, like, do you grow them yourself, or do you get them like the herbs? How does that happen?
So usually I like to get them from a garden. So I go to Magruder Community Garden right now, and there is like a herb section there, and there's a few herbs out there, and we can also bring herbs and grow them. So I think that's a great opportunity for me to kind of harvest in a way that's more organic and it's cheaper, more cost efficient, honestly. And then honestly, a lot of community gardens, that's really what I like to go for first. Then I'll find like a local herb shop and try to do that there. I'm staying in an apartment right now, and my patio does not get enough sunlight, but when it does, I will be growing on my patio so I can get some herbs too, or even just look maybe potentially for some land to start growing some herbs on, because I'm really focused on trying to make those herbs more organic. But there also are some organic websites. I don't have some of the websites at the tip of my tongue, but that I have ordered off from before. So it really just depends on what I have, because I have a bunch here. But if I'm looking up a specific blend out and I can't find it anywhere, sometimes I order them online. And I also agree on just having a calling in. And early on in life, I just realized, and I used to think that, people are going to come and just steal your energy. And I realized that I was a healer, but I kind of didn't really know how to heal properly. And I'm learning, though, as I am, getting older, dipping more into my feminine energy, into herbs, learning how to heal properly in a way that kind of doesn't steal from me, but also comes from the earth. Because, the earth, it just is going to recreate constantly. So if you're taking from it, it's meant to feed you. I'm not meant to give you all of me, but the earth is always gonna, it's always gonna grow. So it's a way for me to heal others while growing. And even with me, with the Getting Into Grown Diaries, it's a way for me to heal others through my experience that's not draining for me. I'm just speaking on me. So I think those I'm learning to, as a kid and even just growing older, I knew I was a healer, but I didn't really know how to do it without giving all of me. But now I'm learning how to do it in a way that has boundaries in place that can kind of protect me. And you can use the earth, because the earth is here for a reason, to help and heal other people. So do what the earth has told you that it needs you to do so you can heal other people while not taking from you. So yeah.
I love that. And I was curious, I know that you do tea blends. Do you also do any like smoothies or anything like that that incorporates veggies and fruits from the garden?
I don't necessarily sell any, but I do juice heavily. Like honestly, juicing is changing my life right now. It's just really a way to, I don't even buy juice anymore. I just feel like it's a way to really cleanse all and really, really nurture yourself. My skin has been growing more. I just digestive system is better. Just reproductive, like everything's better. I feel like I don't even cramp as much, honestly, with the tea and like just juicing. I don't even cramp as much, honestly. And definitely from the garden. That's why I try to use as much stuff from the garden as possible, because it's all organic. And honestly, anything from the earth is meant to heal you. So I definitely juicing for sure. Smoothies, not sure, not necessarily, but again, with the certain blends, it's kind of the same context. So if you're using those vegetables or those fruits when you're like juicing them, or even incorporating them in different like blends, if you're mixing them with any herbs, you can also do the same with smoothies, and just make those smoothie blends as well.
So I have a question. So, for example, someone wants to connect with you and they want to start getting your herbs, what is the future looking like? Is this going to be in the stores? Are people going to be able to get in the stores, or are you just wanting to just do it online?
So the future is looking like online, maybe just coming to me, ordering them online, and just maybe pop up shops, and me kind of partnering with different things, and even just maybe tea party or tea time events, where people can come and try the blends, and it'll be opportunity for people to buy tea. So keep that in mind before tea parties. But I think those are some things that I have in mind for people to kind of come and just get more adapted to tea, because sometimes I feel like people just think of tea and they're like, no, they're tea, no medicine. My grandma used to make me drink tea when I was little. So I'm trying to make tea more fun, So I think, and that's why I like to do the tea time things, because it makes tea fun. This is something that doesn't have to be. We drink coffee. I drink coffee every day. Coffee every single day. You can incorporate some tea in there that kind of heals you. So yeah.
I was gonna say, if you do decide to do that, make sure you invite me and Coach Yams. We'll have a live podcast, tea time. We could just do it on your show if you want to.
Yes, that would be so fun. Come to a tea party, dress up, tea time. And I think that would be a great time to kind of get some people out to really get in the tea space, and see like there's different flavors. Some people think that, some is too earthy, or some is, no, I don't like ginger. Some people don't like ginger, but there's so many different blends. And I tell people, just try it. Your head is hurting. How about you try this? Don't take that ibuprofen. Just try this. Look, it works, and then they always think it's so cool. So I think it's a great way to show people how to use tea, is to show them that it's super cool. That's why I usually like to one of the things that I have is these little herb cards, and they're kind of like weeds that are outside, but you can kind of show people. We did this at the garden one time, and we had these little herbs, and I made them go find just weeds outside and place them next to them, so they can see that these are actually herbs that is right outside your house. And a lot of times when people realize that, for them something clicks in their brain and it's really cool for them, and it kind of it unlocks the door for them to dig deeper into herbalism. So creating that space where people can kind of get that key unlocked in their brain and then dig a little deeper is always real fun and cool to me. So
I just, Karan, I ain't got nothing. I enjoy listening to you talk about all the things, because you're so knowledgeable, and despite your age, like you're so experienced, and so like it's a breath of fresh air. And something that I think would be cool to see, like with your, talking about events, that would be a delight. I would love that little tea party. What about like an ebook or something to let people know the different kinds of blends? Is that something that is of interest? And maybe that could, because you say, you're in school for therapy to become a therapist. And so with you learning what you learn and continuing to incorporate that with what you learn from the school side of things, seems like there'll be able to be an overlap that could happen so that you could help heal people with herbs through your therapy.
I agree, and that is the goal. The goal is to use the therapy and the herbs to show people that we can heal the mind, the body, the spirit, all together with literally just our earth and just knowledge and experience. Not even having to add all the chemical. Even though I never want to say there's anything wrong with chemical medicine, because some people do need it, but I always feel like with our experiences and with our earth and with patience and time, you will be able to heal yourself. And that's the goal for me. And I really want to be able to show people that. So I agree with just using the therapy and the herbalism and combining into one. And even just taking therapy outside sometimes and getting us out this room and take us outside so it can create more. I always say, when you're in a room, your brain will only think in the area that it's in. So when you're in 4 walls, your brain is only going to think to those 4 walls. And when you take it outside, it's endless. So, and healing is endless as well. So I agree as well. Even with, I do get into grown series and tea time series to kind of push myself a little bit more with kind of being a little bit more vulnerable and sharing with people, because sometimes I do find myself being a bit more secluded and protective over self. So I think like with that, that's my start into doing things like ebooks and pushing myself into events, because I'm like, this is actually fun, and learning how to create boundaries with self without having to pour too much, I think is where I'm at right now, until so I can get more, just get more courage, because again, like I feel like with this, you'll see me sharing my journey as well, and it'll just show like things that I struggle with as well, that I think as time takes, the ebook and just like different things and even the events is going to come as well. So yeah.
I have a question that might sound a little off topic when I first asked you, but I'm gonna get to a point. Are you a natural lock goddess?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, they are.
Okay, so the reason I was asking that was, I don't know, have you had them your whole life, or is this something that you just started, and how long?
So actually in 2020, when COVID started is when I started my locks as well. So it was around the time when my journey kicked off. That's when these babies came. I really wanted a way to kind of be authentically me, and I feel like locks was going to be the best way to try to connect itself and really look at itself. So yeah.
I was gonna say that because actually my transition is when I started to grow my locks, because I feel like it's got something to do with not only your bloodline, your lineage, and your ancestors, but also nature itself. Because the way that our hair is created, and that's for everybody. I don't think it's like it doesn't matter what culture you are. When you let it go, grow out of your hair, and you don't do anything to it, I feel like it gives like some type of special connection. I don't know if it's to the earth or what it is, but it doesn't matter if it's an afro. It doesn't matter if it's just coming out. So that's pretty cool.
I agree. That's why I say it forces you to look at self, because when you first start your locks, and me, when I first started my locks, I wore that scarf every day. Like, I was not taking that scarf off. You couldn't tell me, and even when they say ugly phase, it's not an ugly phase as far as like you looking ugly, you just feel ugly. So like, and that's why it really helps with just pushing yourself, because then you really have to learn how to look at you in the mirror and really be comfortable with what's there, despite with what your brain is telling you is there. It's a really a cool way to. I'm really all into like manipulating the brain, so I feel like locks is a really cool way to manipulate your brain and push you to really like look at stuff, and even with just natural hair as well. Like, because even when I had my afro, there were certain times I just can't even let it be an afro, or I couldn't look at self. So yeah, I definitely agree. It's a good way to even get connected with self and even with nature, because this is what naturally my hair can do this. I think it's really amazing to me and beautiful. That's why I was looking at your locks and I'm just like, black is so beautiful. And even just hair is so beautiful, because it just shows naturally like this is what we can do. It's amazing, honestly. I don't even have words sometimes to describe it, because it's just like, wow. So yeah, I agree.
Well, ladies, we are at about time. And so before we close things out, I just want to give an opportunity to you, Karan and Deb, to say any like final words, anything that you want to leave the listeners with, any gifts, anything, anywhere you want to direct them. Now's your time. Sprinkle your goodness.
I think what came to my head as soon as you said this, I feel like I gotta say it. The thing that I feel like I would want to tell people right now is my favorite thing to say to myself: my day is not determined by the day of the week. So just start today, start any day. Like today is what? Sunday, start today. It's the first day of the week, so yes. But even if it's Friday, if you're watching this on a Tuesday or Wednesday, like your day is not determined by the day of the week. Just start now. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're 50 right now. It doesn't matter if you're 20. It doesn't matter if you're 19. Just start today. Because again, healing is never ending. It's never lasting. There's always things we can heal from. Always things we can grow in. And just use your experience and just be patient and really trusting yourself and trusting the universe, trust in whoever you believe in, and just remember and write it down. Your day is not determined by the day of the week. Just keep going. It doesn't really matter what day it is, because time waits on nobody. So just stand up today and just start healing. Look at yourself.
I don't have anything else to say. This was beautiful. We appreciate you showing up to give us this love. And God, definitely check out her stuff. Should be down in the description box, but I'm gonna give it to Yams.
Yeah, we'll close out here. I say thank you so much, Karan, for being on the show, for sharing your experiences and your knowledge, and just bringing this good vibe and good personality and this smiling face and just all this youthful goodness. It doesn't matter how long we are on this earth, the experiences that you have shape you, and you have the opportunity to grow from them and learn from them. And no matter how much you think that you've healed and grown through a thing, life is gonna, humble you and say, have you really overcome this thing? And how can you continue to level up? So the journey never ends. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast. Like, share, subscribe, Quran. And we'll be back again in a couple weeks. And we thank y'all so much for listening and tuning in. And come be guests. And until next time.